Good morning, noon, evening or night, depending when you're watching this video, and welcome back to World of Tanks. It has been a while for me after my vacation and, well, just busy period. So, just came back from vacation yesterday and I have a lot to catch up, a lot of video material to catch up. So let's start off with this NBTT'ay Replay, the series where we are featuring the best replays from the clan NBTT for each and every patch update. And this time it's me in my IS-6 on Karelia. And at the start of the battle I was thinking about going towards the A1 line alongside with my platoon mate, who has also done a great job this battle. Well, not only but my platoon mate, his entire team of mine did actually pretty well. Of course, there are a few there that actually did, well, very little this game, but a lot of team members were, well, good players, really put the effort behind this victory. You will see that in a little moment, but first let's target the lower and its lower plate, finally hitting. The amount of times that I am hitting those top and bottom bar that you cannot penetrate of the lower plate of the lower, the amount of times I hit those parts is insane. Just the aiming for that weak spot and still getting a bounce. But that particular bounce was also kind of special because I aimed very carefully for that weak spot on its engine deck. But while it was a pixel snipe, it would be more surprising to hit that than to miss it. So now I'm encountering this 122 TM, which is kind of a bothersome tank being hurled down in my flank. But there is something that tank doesn't go well with hull down, and that is its capolars. You'll see that in a moment. As you can see, I'm trying to find its weak spots, but well, it has cupolas, so why not fire at those? With gold, of course, because otherwise you will bounce it anyway. So that's how the game works. And this 122, bless him, he's also firing gold, but he's just not able to pen the side of my tank. The I6 also have a very strong side profile, so it's quite hard to do it. Now, there was a very good move by me. Angling up towards the rock on my left side allowed me to, well, create a very unusual angle for the 122 to fire at. And because of that, due to that irregular movement, he hit a solid part of my tank and bounced once again. Don't know how that missed, but well, okay, guess I'm kind of lucky with that 122. So, well, RNG give it and RNG take it away. In the middle, it doesn't go very well with my team. The ones that are not doing that much are now crumbling towards the enemy advance in the north. However, the leftover tanks on my team are actually going to be very helpful as I'm now trying to take over the hill and get some revenge on my platoon mate. But that whole engagement at the bottom was just pure angling in the correct way and giving that 122 a run for his money with that scraping against the rock. So tracking the T-44 in place is a very good decision. Now I can move up to him. Even though he still managed to pen me, it's better to, well, face hug. Well, maybe not in that case, because there was still a CS teammate behind me, but most of the times face hugging in a 1v1 is the best thing to do, especially when you are in heavy tank, which makes it quite harder. Unless they know your weak spots. But that T-44 didn't seem to know that, and well, the weak spots of the I6 are also its, well, relatively small cupolars from face-hugging distance, but you can try to cover those weak spots with your gun. Now, the enemy IS-6 also doesn't know that he needs to fire his APCR at me, because the IS-6 although it did got a penetration buff, it still doesn't have great penetration. Now the enemy I6 does something very stupid here. He is driving behind upwards, and that way its frontal armor is angling downwards, so I can easily pen him. So, well, quite a mistake from that enemy I6 right there. But now the base is under a huge threat as my team gets pushed further and further backwards. And the ones that are now left over are really also the MVPs of this game, really trying their best in order to get a victory from this current disadvantage. So moving as quickly as possible to the base, taking into account that a second enemy tank can enter the base at any moment, really amping up the time limit that we have to reset it, and after a while it does happen, a second enemy enters the base, so we do need to reset it, but I think I am too late for this. But luckily one of my teammates was able to take another reset of that Progetto. And now I'm just trundling forwards. I don't really care taking hits. I still got a lot of HP left, which is also quite important in this stage of the battle. Try to get a shot of the Progetto. Unfortunately, I don't hit him, but luckily I scared him away far enough so my teammate could finish him off. And also distracting the Ferdinand, taking his shots, allowed my Progetto to finish him off. Great teamwork right here, exactly how you need to play in this kind of setup. The heavy tank in the front, taking the hits, while the medium tanks and the tank destroyers allows support damage and, well, general DPM, because they did pretty much all the work killing those enemies. So very great teamwork at this moment, and we almost turned the tides around. We are still behind on hit points, but we do have the number advantage. And now spotting the Rheinmetall-Borsig Waffenträger, we might be able to clutch a victory, even though the enemies still got a little bit more HP. But the enemy team isn't done yet. They are not going down without a fight, and a full health Indian Panzer takes out our T-44. Does get punished for it, but it also does get away. I really should count my shots right here, trying to hit him blind, but unfortunately that missed. So it's not over yet. The Progetto and I are both at a one shot for the Rheinmetall-Borsig Waffenträger, and our other teammate doesn't have any armor, so he can also get picked off quite easily if he is being caught with his pants down. So now it's really carefully searching, trying to outflank the Rheinmetall-Borsig Waffenträger and trying to keep out of spotting range of the Indian Panzer. Not getting spotted is also key, or if I'm getting spotted, I'm near solid cover for that Indian Panzer. Even though I can take one shot of him, it's always important to take into account that you can retreat behind solid cover in order to save as much hit points. So this careful chase continues for a little while. Our Rheinmetall-Borsig Waffenträger is trying to crest the hill, trying to spot the Indian Panzer, and I'm pre-aiming, letting him know that I'm pre-aiming, which is also very important in communicating in these kinds of scenarios where your team knows that you also are helping them. Which I didn't really do that much of. I really should take care on getting more emphasis on communicating, but there's the Indian Panzer and I am able to hit him and kill him. Great teamwork once again. The Rheinmetall now with the most hit points, taking the front line, and now I am the supporting role. So it's only the Waffenträger left, and he's right there. I almost got a shot off, but I didn't want to take the chance. I rather want to wait until my team once again is in position to support me, because I know my team is capable at this moment, but it's not necessary. I load the HE and I get a nice roll on the weapon tracker, and I'm quite cheerful about this game because it was a great game with a great team. So looking at the post-game results, this of course was a ace tanker alongside with the steel hull. Mainly got that one due to the 122 TM continuously bouncing heat on my sides, and that IS-6 didn't fire any gold at me, which you should do against an enemy IS-6. And also the high caliber for the 4500 damage that I did, alongside with a 15,000 base experience. But I also want to shout out the Progetto Monster 007, the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger Drew 11, my platoon mate in the 53 TP Bambi Slayer 1, as well as the CS2 Skrikshow for being great assets towards this team. Also the ones that I have seen less of, like the VK7501 and the TS5, also did a great job participating into this eventual victory. In general, a great team. Although I got a lot more experience, I wouldn't got it without a bunch of my teammates. Only thing that I should have done more was communicating, really trying to encourage communication, so I know exactly when my team is covering me and when I can cover my team. That being said, let's finally look at the credits we make, which was a very nice 200,000 credits profit with this tank, alongside with a nice premium count. So, like I said, this game was also mainly featuring teamwork alongside some individual great moments, like that angling against that 122 TM and focusing its weak spots, its cupolars on top of his turret. Then, in true heavy tank fashion way, just moving down as fast as possible, although it's not that fast in a heavy tank, towards my base when the cap pressure was on, in order to take shots or get the attention, so my team was able to reset the base multiple times and killing those enemies capturing the base. And that final careful hunt, really being cautious about the movements, locations, and always keep in mind to have solid cover at any moment in the case of being caught out, being spotted without spotting an enemy tank. And finally a nice HE shot into the enemy Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger, finishing him off in one shot. But once again, I couldn't have done this without this team. We both really took that typical team play of the heavy tank being the front, taking all the shots, and the other ones being the assistants or the damage dealers, finishing off enemy tanks. And at some point we switched around the roles when my hit points was lower and the hit points of my tank destroyer was a little bit higher. He took over the front line and I supported him. So in general, great teamwork. And with that, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned from it. And as always, I will see you next time. Laters!